According to NEC Article 800.179a, only cables listed as plenum cable can be run in ducts for plenums. Category 5E cable is typically rated as riser rated, which means it can only be installed in vertical shafts or risers. Running non-plenum cable in ducts can increase the risk of fire in the event of a short circuit or electrical fault. NEC Article 300.11 requires all cables to be secured in an approved manner. Drilling a hole through drywall and letting cables hang free is a violation. Free-hanging cables can become damaged and expose live conductors, creating a potential electrical shock hazard. NEC Article 410.10 ATWO prohibits the use of dimming devices for lighting loads that are not specifically approved for dimming. Rope lights are not typically designed for dimming, so using a dimmer on them is a violation. Dimming rope lights that are not rated for dimming can cause them to malfunction or even fail prematurely. As an electrical professional, it is your responsibility to ensure that electrical installations comply with the NEC. Failure to do so can put people and property at risk. You should always speak up if you observe unsafe or non-compliant practices, even if it is within the jurisdiction of a more senior individual. It's crucial to understand the specific requirements outlined in the National Electrical Code, or NEC, to ensure electrical installations are safe and compliant. Let's delve deeper into the violations mentioned. Firstly, using plenum-rated cable. Plenum spaces are areas in a building used for air circulation, such as ducts and spaces above suspended ceilings. Because these spaces can facilitate the rapid spread of fire and smoke, the NEC mandates that only cables specifically listed and labeled as plenum-rated can be installed in these areas. Plenum-rated cables are designed to have low smoke and flame characteristics, meaning they produce minimal smoke and resist burning readily. This helps to reduce the risk of toxic smoke inhalation and fire spread in the event of a fire. Standard Category 5E, or Cat 5E, cable is typically not plenum rated. Instead, it's often riser rated. Riser rated cables are designed for vertical runs between floors in a building, but they do not meet the stringent requirements for plenum spaces. Installing non-plenum rated cable in a plenum can lead to significant fire safety hazards. In a fire, these cables can release large amounts of smoke and toxic fumes, endangering occupants and hindering fire suppression efforts. Secondly, consider the proper securing of cables. NEC Article 300.11 emphasizes the need for all cables to be securely fastened and supported in an approved manner. This means cables should not be left hanging freely or unsupported. Proper support prevents strain on connections, protects cables from physical damage, and ensures a neat and organized installation. Drilling a hole in the drywall and letting a cable hang freely violates this requirement. Cables should be secured using appropriate methods such as cable ties, staples, straps, or other approved supports at intervals specified by the NEC. These supports should be suitable for the type of cable and the installation environment. Failure to properly secure cables can lead to several problems. Cables may become damaged due to bending, kinking, or abrasion. This damage can compromise the insulation, potentially exposing live conductors and creating a shock hazard. Unsecured cables can also be a tripping hazard or obstruct access to equipment. Thirdly, using dimmers with incompatible lighting. NEC Article 410.10 ATWO addresses the use of dimming devices, stating that dimmers should only be used with lighting loads that are specifically designed and approved for dimming. This is because dimming a light source involves reducing the voltage supplied to it. Not all light sources respond well to this reduction in voltage. Rope lights, for example, are often not designed to be dimmed. They may use simple incandescent bulbs or light-emitting diodes or LEDs that are not compatible with dimming circuits. Attempting to dim non-dimmable rope lights can lead to several issues. The lights may flicker erratically, produce unwanted noise, or fail to dim smoothly. In some cases, the dimmer itself may be damaged due to the incompatible load. More seriously, the rope lights can overheat and fail prematurely, potentially creating a fire hazard. To ensure compatibility, always check the manufacturer's specifications for both the dimmer and the lighting fixture. Use only dimmers that are specifically listed for use with the type of lighting being controlled. Now let's discuss the consequences of these violations. Fire hazards are increased with non-plenum cable. As previously mentioned, using non-plenum rated cable in ducts or plenums poses a significant fire hazard. These cables release more smoke and toxic fumes when burned, increasing the risk of smoke inhalation and hindering evacuation efforts. Electrical shock hazards are also a factor. Improperly secured cables can become damaged, exposing live conductors and creating a potential electrical shock hazard. This is especially dangerous in areas where people may come into contact with the cables. Malfunctioning lights can occur due to incompatible dimming. Dimming rope lights that are not designed for dimming can cause them to malfunction or fail prematurely. This can result in flickering lights, reduced light output, or complete failure of the lights. Let's consider responsibilities and best practices. As an electrical professional, it is your responsibility to ensure that all electrical installations comply with the NEC and other applicable codes and standards. This includes selecting the correct materials, following proper installation techniques, and verifying the safety and functionality of the completed installation. If you observe unsafe or non-compliant practices, it is your duty to speak up and address the issue, even if it involves a more senior individual. Safety should always be the top priority. Here are some additional tips for ensuring electrical safety and code compliance. Firstly, always consult the NEC and other relevant codes and standards before beginning any electrical work. These documents provide detailed requirements for safe and compliant installations. Secondly, use only listed and labeled equipment and materials. Listed products have been tested and certified by a recognized testing laboratory to meet specific safety standards. Thirdly, follow the manufacturer's instructions for all equipment and materials. This will help to ensure proper installation and operation. Fourthly, properly secure and support all cables and wiring. This will prevent damage and ensure a neat and organized installation. Fifthly, use only dimmers that are specifically listed for use with the type of lighting being controlled. This will prevent damage to the dimmer and the lights. Sixthly, test all electrical installations after completion to verify their safety and functionality. This includes checking for proper grounding, insulation resistance, and circuit polarity. Seventhly, obtain all necessary permits and inspections before beginning any electrical work. This will help to ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and standards. Eighthly, document all electrical work, including the materials used, the installation techniques, and the test results. This will provide a record of the work performed and can be helpful for future maintenance and troubleshooting. Ninthly, stay up to date on the latest changes to the NEC and other relevant codes and standards. This will help to ensure that your installations are always safe and compliant. Tenthly, participate in continuing education courses and seminars to enhance your knowledge and skills. This will help you to stay current on the latest electrical technologies and best practices. By following these guidelines, electrical professionals can ensure that their installations are safe, compliant, and reliable. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By adhering to the NEC and other applicable codes and standards, you can help to protect people and property from the hazards of electricity. It's important to understand that the NEC is not just a set of rules, it's a comprehensive guide to safe electrical practices. The code is developed and updated regularly by a committee of experts, including electrical engineers, contractors, inspectors, and manufacturers. The goal of the NEC is to minimize the risk of electrical shock, fire, and other hazards. Therefore, compliance with the NEC is essential for ensuring the safety of electrical installations. Let's discuss some specific examples of how these principles apply in practice. Imagine a scenario where an electrician is installing a home theater system. The customer wants to run speaker wires and network cables through the existing ductwork to keep them hidden. However, the electrician knows that only plenum-rated cables can be used in ducts. Instead of using standard cables, the electrician selects plenum-rated cables that meet the NEC requirements. This ensures that the installation is safe and compliant. In another scenario, an electrician is installing new lighting fixtures in a commercial building. The customer wants to use rope lights to accent the aisles. However, the electrician knows that rope lights are not typically designed to be dimmed. Instead of using a dimmer switch, the electrician installs a standard on-off switch. This prevents damage to the lights and the dimmer, and it ensures that the installation is safe and compliant. In another example, an electrician is wiring a new outlet in a residential home. The electrician drills a hole in the drywall to run the cable, but instead of leaving the cable hanging freely, the electrician secures it to the wall studs using cable staples. This prevents the cable from becoming damaged and ensures that the installation is neat and organized. These are just a few examples of how electrical professionals can apply the principles of the NEC in practice. By understanding the code and following proper installation techniques, electricians can ensure that their installations are safe, compliant, and reliable. It's also important to remember that electrical safety is an ongoing process. Even after an installation is complete, it's important to regularly inspect and maintain the electrical system. This includes checking for damaged wiring, loose connections, and other potential hazards. By taking these steps, you can help to prevent electrical accidents and ensure the safety of your home or business. In addition to the specific violations discussed earlier, there are many other common NEC violations that electrical professionals should be aware of. These include improper grounding, undersized wiring, overloaded circuits, and the use of unapproved equipment. Improper grounding can create a shock hazard and increase the risk of electrical fires. Undersized wiring can overheat and cause a fire. Overloaded circuits can trip breakers and cause power outages. The use of unapproved equipment can be dangerous and may not meet safety standards. To avoid these and other common NEC violations, it's essential to stay informed about the latest changes to the code and to follow proper installation techniques. It's also important to work with qualified and experienced electrical professionals who are knowledgeable about the NEC and other applicable codes and standards. Electrical work can be dangerous, so it's always best to leave it to the experts. In conclusion, electrical safety is a critical concern that should be taken seriously by everyone. By understanding the NEC and following proper installation techniques, electrical professionals can help to protect people and property from the hazards of electricity. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. Let us delve even more deeply to assist. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a comprehensive set of guidelines and regulations designed to ensure the safe installation and maintenance of electrical systems. It is updated every 3 years by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, to reflect the latest advancements in electrical technology and safety practices. Understanding and adhering to the NEC is crucial for all electrical professionals, as it helps to minimize the risk of electrical shock, fire, and other hazards. The NEC covers a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, equipment installation, and special occupancies. It provides detailed requirements for the selection, installation, and maintenance of electrical equipment and systems. Compliance with the NEC is not only a matter of safety, but it is also often required by law. Many jurisdictions have adopted the NEC as their standard for electrical installations, and failure to comply can result in fines, penalties, and even legal action. Therefore, it is essential for electrical professionals to be familiar with the NEC and to follow its requirements carefully. The NEC is a complex document, and it can be challenging to understand and apply its provisions. However, there are many resources available to help electrical professionals stay informed and up to date on the latest changes to the code. These resources include training courses, seminars, online forums, and publications. It is also important to consult with experienced electrical inspectors and engineers when necessary to ensure that your installations are safe and compliant. In addition to the NEC, there are other codes and standards that may apply to electrical installations depending on the location and type of project. These codes and standards may cover topics such as energy efficiency, accessibility, and environmental protection. It is important to be aware of these other codes and standards and to comply with them as well. Electrical safety is not just a matter of following the rules, it is also a matter of using good judgment and common sense. Always take the time to assess the risks and to take appropriate precautions to protect yourself and others from electrical hazards. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses, and using insulated tools. It also includes following safe work practices, such as de-energizing circuits before working on them and using lockout/tagout procedures. Electrical work can be dangerous, but it can also be rewarding. By following the NEC, using good judgment, and taking appropriate precautions, electrical professionals can help to ensure the safety of electrical installations and to protect people and property from the hazards of electricity. Let's talk about specific sections of the NEC that are relevant to the violations discussed earlier. NEC Article 800 covers communications circuits, including those used for data, voice, and video. Article 800.179 specifically addresses the installation of communications cables in ducts, plenums, and other air handling spaces. It requires that only cables listed as plenum cable be installed in these spaces. Plenum cables are designed to have low smoke and flame characteristics, which helps to reduce the risk of fire and smoke spread in the event of a fire. NEC Article 300 covers wiring methods and materials. Article 300.11 addresses the securing and supporting of wiring. It requires that all wiring be securely fastened and supported in an approved manner. This helps to prevent damage to the wiring and to ensure that it is properly protected. NEC Article 410 covers luminaires, lamp holders, and lamps. Article 410.10 addresses the use of dimmers. It requires that dimmers be used only with lighting loads that are specifically designed and approved for dimming. This helps to prevent damage to the dimmer and the lights and to ensure that they operate safely and reliably. By understanding these specific sections of the NEC, electrical professionals can better understand the requirements for safe and compliant electrical installations. It's also important to be aware of other relevant sections of the NEC, such as those covering grounding, overcurrent protection, and equipment installation. The NEC is a comprehensive document, and it is essential to be familiar with its provisions in order to ensure the safety of electrical installations. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following the NEC, using good judgment, and taking appropriate precautions, electrical professionals can help to protect people and property from the hazards of electricity.